Kevin, first day of on-ice work with this group. I know it's a real experience for the coaches with those 2 sessions a day. How did it go so far in this first day?
Well, I don't think it could have gone much better. I mean, so much preparation. I give so much credit to Megan Dugan. She had everybody on their toes as far as what our responsibilities were, and the men came in here. They've been working hard off the ice, but I think they're relieved to get on the ice and kind of show their stuff a little bit. So good first day.
What's it like for you to, you've been involved with the franchise, now you're up in Utica, but to now be here where you can actually host a development camp as things sort of creep back to normal?
Yeah, it really is. I think it's a big part of every organization. It's kind of that it's the end after the draft. It's a new beginning. You've got free agency on the horizon, and I think there's a lot of action in the hockey world right now. But for us to get a chance to see your young prospects and kind of get a glimpse into your future, I think it's a exciting time, and it's a little bit of trying to put names to faces, and you've watched some video, that kind of thing, and you get a chat with some of these young players. Good for both sides.
When you're at a camp like this, you have some players who spent time with you in Utica last year. You have guys who were drafted 3 days ago.
Right.
Do you look for different things at a camp like this from the different level of players? Does it not really work like that?
Well, I think you do. For my players, our players that have played for us in Utica last year, I think it's been really nice to see, because I think they've taken on a little bit of a leadership role, and that's something that they may have done at junior and college, and all of a sudden now they're in development camp, and they see someone like you say that's been drafted 3 days ago, and a chance to maybe help them just along the way in whatever kind of get them from the hotel to the locker room, which is a little bit of a challenge here at the Prudential Center sometimes. Just those little steps, and you see guys do that, and you see these young guys come in. There's no better feeling than being at the draft. You've been at a number yourself, to watch these players get drafted, celebrate with their family, friends, and this is a beginning for them, and it's nice to be on that ground floor of them. So I think we've been very welcoming, and we're excited to keep enjoying the week.
As the coach that's on the ice running that portion, what's the most important thing you're stressing? Because you're not preparing for a season.
Correct.
You're in the middle of the summer where you kind of have to balance those things. What's it like organizing that for a coach?
Well, for one, Ryan Murphy and Chris Grignano are basically the skills coaches that are hands-on, and we're taking their lead. And I think what we try to do is just to give them a template of things they can continue to work on over the course of the summer, maybe a couple drills that they can take home and continue till we get to the real thing, which is training camp, right? So, I think there's been a decent amount of talk about the compete level of professional sports, and I think that's a huge part of it. We don't expect to see that here at development camp, but at training camp, oh yeah, you better be ready. So just prepare them on ice, some great lectures, and certainly on and off the ice.
To see Alex Holtz come in, have this experience, I was talking to him yesterday, and he said he was very disappointed not to score his first NHL goal when he had the opportunity up here, but he's really put in the work to get to a point where he says, his goal, I want to stick at the NHL level. Yeah. What have you seen in the progress of who Alexander Holtz is?
Well, physically I see, big bump, bigger, his upper body looks bigger. I think today on the ice he looked like he was moving very well. Those are all good things, but we also know that he's still got a lot of action going on at training camp, and it'll be a very competitive training camp. I do have to say, between he and Fabian Zetterlund, they really brought an enthusiasm and a lust for life to our group that was infectious. And I see that here now with that smile that he brings to the rink every day, and his skill set. I think he's going to be he didn't get the first one last year, but I think it won't be too long before he's putting up some pretty good numbers.
And at the end of this week, what do you hope, your group takes away from this, not only as not only as players, but your coaching staff as well?
Again, once you get to kind of know a little bit of players' tendencies, there's some players that came in from college right at the end of the year to Utica. They got a little snapshot of how we go about our business. Now we're in that transition that, hey, let's take that next step. And the best part about this right now, there's just so much growth and maturity that happens over a 3-month, 4-month period that you can see the effort that's put in over the summer. So for us, we're excited to get to know the future of the New Jersey Devils that's in this room right now, and to try to help them with any of the steps we can along the way.
And how much are you looking forward to getting back to work in Utica? Obviously things fell short at the end there. I'm sure that was a big disappointment, but a lot to look forward to.
Well, it is, and I think you have a heck of a regular season. You win your conference, and you've got high hopes, and then bang, all of a sudden it's over in 5 games. A 5-game series, but you give credit to your opponent, but like every year there's just so much learning that's done, whether it's by the players or us by a coaching staff. So I think we've set a certain level of what our expectations are and what they expect out of us, and I think it's a good, healthy thing. And we really enjoyed our time in Utica, and we'll look forward to getting back and getting in the swing of it in September.
How did your group react once things were over, and as you said, that 5-game series comes to an end? Given the expectations, how do you feel your group handled that?
I don't think great. I mean, I think anytime you lose, you suck on that for a few days, and then all of a sudden a couple weeks, and it's hard to watch the final game that you're up 2-1 going into the third, and a penalty, and then all of a sudden you give up a goal, and we're scratching and clawing trying to get that tire, and for the most part you sit on that. At the end of it, you accept it, right? That's all part of the package, and I think the players, we all go through a process at the end of the season. I think our expectations were higher than we showed on the ice. So again, a great learning experience for us, and what we hope is part of that, a lot of that learning experience transitions to what they will bring to the Devils as future New Jersey Devils.